I'm from New York State originally, and I also went to college not too far from here at Cornell. I actually went to a concert at the Carrier Dome right across the street, and I had no idea that SUNY ESF existed until I was in my postdoc, and I was working I had a grant to be in Minnesota and Norway, and I was on a plane, and I opened Nature or Science magazine, and there was an ad that said SUNY ESF. It was in Syracuse, New York. My husband's also he's from upstate New York. I'm from downstate, and we were like, oh, maybe apply there to go there. What is this place? And I just loved the idea of a school where most of the biology majors aren't pre-med, and they're really excited about the environment. And the more I learned about it and the field station opportunities and like hands-on learning, the more excited I was to potentially be a faculty member here. I applied to the job. It was like my first application for a professor job, interviewed, and I was surprised, but I got the job, and it's been great ever since. I've really been happy teaching ESF students and doing research with them here. So I was hired to teach limnology, which is like oceanography, but freshwater systems, so lakes and some streams. I changed the lab a bit to be an experiential learning situation. So we still do limnological things. This is the greatest place to be a limnologist because of all the lakes that are around here and streams. We have so many potential study sites. You're right here, and we're also not too far from the ocean. I was the first person to propose doing a marine class, and I teach marine ecology. My first love was marine ecology. I had a whole lot of experiences in that and still do a lot of comparative stuff between marine and freshwater systems. And since then, we've gotten, Karen Lindberg came a little before me, and she's mostly estuarine or marine. We have, I think, 3 other faculty now that are purely marine, and a couple in our department and a couple in chemistry and other places as well. So we're no longer a purely freshwater water people. That was attractive to me, that some people are great at propelling themselves to keep doing conservation in really rough times, right? And it was just nice, both intellectually, being able to get a handle on a whole system. The Great Lakes are still a hard place to do stuff, but even that, really important resources for the state and the country. So I became sort of 90% a limnologist, like I said, and 10% a marine biologist. One of the things I've been involved in for the past 7 years or so, we've been working with the New York State Parks and Office of Historical Preservation to run a boat steward program. And we hired 20 people who are stationed at different launches all across upstate New York at boat launches. And we do basically environmental education that's the same as is done by DEC and New York State Parks across the state. They learn how to approach people and say, hey, do you mind taking a survey, and ask what they're here to do, and ask if they'd be willing to learn a little bit more about how to prevent species from spreading, and they get trained on what all the species are and why it might be a problem so they can educate the public. A lot of ESF students have done that. They learn a lot of ID of species that might move, and they contribute to this database that the state has of what boats are transferring things. We also have a project as part of that to look at all of the little tiny things you don't think about moving. So a lot of plankton, zooplankton, and phytoplankton and other things have resting stages that will travel just in a little bit of water in your boat. And so we've had grad students and undergrads who are working on sort of defining how many things are moving in each boat. The environmental education part that we've done in our lab mostly has been related to sort of trying to help people understand, doesn't seem like much, but maybe just taking a minute to wash off your boat or dry everything could also help the water quality, help your fishing, that kind of stuff. So I've been more involved with environmental education than I maybe would have thought I was going to be at the beginning of my career. For me, a lot of times it is our students who give me hope because they still care, and they're learning things. They find their people, it's the people who love trees or the people who love fish. We have a succession of a bunch of classes and a bunch of different clubs like the American Fisheries Society, that can let students really achieve things, as students. They get a lot of experience literally doing something positive for the college and for the external community. You also just see people asking more questions, like they want to learn more. So you're in the class and you talked about what you thought you should know, and they're like, but what about this and that? And so it's easy for us as professors to like fall behind because they've asked so many questions, which is great though. It's better than just sitting like a lot of places and like having everyone like, oh, we're here for the course. It's great, you know, if you're teaching them things they want to know, they get extra involved, and then there's a really good synergism.